Sometimes in coding and in life, you find yourself wanting to convert a hex color to an RGB. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to do exactly that with a cool library I have found on NPM called TinyColor. Look at it go, updating every time I select a new color. Super useful. So let's get into it. I am here in my HTML, and the first thing I'm going to do is build out the elements I need to make this app. That consists of two divs, and within those I have a paragraph with the ID of hex display, and then this one is going to be RGB display. So next to these is where my hex and RGB color names are going to appear. But for that to happen, we need to have a color picker and a corresponding label. And that looks like label. It's going to be for an input with the ID of input, and then it's going to say color. And then below that, here is my input, and the input type is color, which puts in a color picker which is inbuilt into HTML. Very handy. And as mentioned, the ID of input, and then I'm going to give this the name of color. And then optionally, I can put in a value for it to load on page load. Woohoo! Lovely. So now we've done that, it's time for some JS. But first, I need to bring TinyColor into my project. Now, when you look up TinyColor on NPM, there are some instructions for using it with Bower or NPM and so on. There is a much easier way of doing it, which I will show you now. What you need to find is the CDN for the library, and this will be a link tag which you can then add in straight to your HTML. So TinyColor JS CDN, and here it is. And what you want is the latest minified version, which is this bad boy here. And I'm just going to copy that into the head of my document. So now we can wire it all up with our JS. And the first thing we need to do is grab the elements from our HTML that we're going to use. And that looks like const input equals document dot get element by ID, and that one is input. And then we need our hex display, and then we basically have the same for the RGB. So now I have those in, I can start properly adding the functionality. And what I want to happen is for the function to run every time a new color is selected from the input. And for that to happen, I need to use the input event listener. And that looks like input.addEventListener, and then input, and that's going to run a function called display color names, which I will write now. Function display color names. So now to get on with the conversion. And to do that, I'm going to declare a new variable called color, and that is going to call in TinyColor. And for now, I'm just going to give it a hex color of black. So now for our hex display, I want to set the text content to be hex and then our color. So now if we run display color names, hopefully, yes, our hex color has indeed appeared. So the next thing I want to do is use one of the many methods that TinyColor offers to convert it. So if I just type in to RGB, you'll see I get a few options here of what it can do. The two that are grabbing my eye are to RGB and to RGB string. You'll see that if you choose to RGB string, you will get, as the name suggests, the RGB in one string, as opposed to RGB, where you get an object. So we do RGB display dot text content equals color, that's our color up here, and then to RGB string, and now our RGB color has appeared. Excellent. However, at the moment, it's currently always going to convert our hex black, which is obviously not what we want. Instead, we want to grab the value from our input element. Very simple, that is just input dot value. So now when I select a different color, the RGB is updating. Super cool. And the TinyColor library has loads of cool methods you can use. I'm definitely planning on making some more videos about this in the future, so keep an eye out for those. Well, that's about it for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Let me know what you want to see from me next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.